Sometimes you feel like you're drifting through a maze of emotions where the people around you start to feel distant, where conversations that once made you happy now leave behind an empty silence. You wonder, what did I do wrong? Or is everything just changing? But maybe, Gemini, it's not that you're losing people. It's that God is quietly protecting you from those who are leading you off your true path. Perhaps you felt that energy, a tiredness without reason, a subtle knowing that something is about to end. Deep down, you know something no longer fits. Yet you keep holding on because you fear loneliness. You fear losing the connection that once warmed your heart. But in the coming days, God will intervene in the most delicate way. He will separate you from those who are making you forget who you truly are. Don't panic if certain relationships suddenly grow quiet, or if you feel like you're drifting away from something familiar. This separation isn't an ending, it's the first step of your return to your authentic self. And when you're calm enough to look back, you'll realize God never takes away what is good. He's simply clearing your path so that what truly belongs to you can finally arrive. If you believe that God is guiding you on the right path, comment below. I trust that God is leading my way. Remember to like and subscribe so we can walk together through this awakening. A sacred season where every change carries a divine message meant just for you. Now, make yourself a cup of tea or your favorite coffee. Sit down slowly and listen to this story as if two old friends were talking about the little signs God sends to remind you. It's time to return home to yourself. Part 1. The silence before the shift. Sometimes, the biggest changes in life don't arrive with thunder or storms. They begin with an unexplainable silence, a gap in conversations, a feeling that something is leaving you, even though no one has said goodbye. Gemini, you feel it, don't you? The air around you seems different. People who once cared suddenly feel distant. Relationships that once made you feel safe now feel heavy and exhausting. You try to talk, to hold on, to save something you once cherished. Yet the more you try, the quieter everything becomes. You may be wondering, why are people so cold to me? Why is everything I've tried to keep slowly fading away? But maybe you haven't realized. This isn't loss. It's purification. God is stepping into your space gently and gracefully to rearrange everything. In the coming days, He will remove the people, situations, and attachments that are pulling you away from your divine path. You know, Gemini, you are a special soul. You live through both your mind and your heart, always curious, always seeking to understand, always wanting to connect. But because of that, you also get stuck in connections that no longer carry light. You try to heal others, to understand them, to love them a little more, hoping that love can change everything. But the truth is, not everyone is meant by God to walk with you into your next chapter. These days, you might feel your energy shifting, a little confused, a little tired, sometimes just wanting to withdraw from everything. Don't force yourself to be strong, because God is teaching you how to listen to the silence. In that stillness, you'll see who truly belongs to you and who was only a lesson your soul needed to experience. Some people will suddenly stop texting you. Some relationships you thought were forever will become fragile like smoke. Don't chase after them. Don't try to hold on to what God is taking away, because sometimes silence is the voice of God. He is saying to you, you don't have to endure anymore. I'm clearing the path so you can step into your own light. Let your heart rest. Let the silence do its work. You don't need to resist the wave, just surrender and trust that God knows exactly what He's doing. He never takes away anything that no longer brings peace to your soul. What leaves you during this time isn't a loss, it's freedom disguised as sadness. Gemini, you of all people understand the power of transformation. You can adapt, renew, and be reborn, but before rebirth, you must allow the old version of yourself to die. And in this very silence, your soul is being cleansed. The energies that no longer match your vibration are gently leaving you, preparing you for a greater, brighter, freer journey ahead. Trust this stillness, because it's not emptiness. It's the sacred ground where God is planting a new beginning. Sometimes, the kindest thing He can do for you is to remove you from places you no longer belong, even before you're ready. If your heart feels something as you hear these words, it's because you know this is not a coincidence. This is the moment you are being called back to yourself to understand that every silence, every distance, every person who walks away is simply God's way of protecting your light. If you've felt this happening in your own life, comment below. I trust that God is leading my way. And don't forget to subscribe so I can continue walking with you through this awakening. The journey where we learn to see miracles, even in separation, and to believe that every change carries a divine purpose meant only for the soul of Gemini. Part 2. When God begins to separate you from old energies, Gemini, you are the soul of connection. You understand the world through words, through conversations, through the eyes and energies of others. That ability makes you magnetic. You can walk into any room and bring it to life. But sometimes, that very gift also makes you carry things that aren't yours. Other people's fears, sadness, and chaos, all of which cling to you like invisible dust, settling over your soul. And then one day, when you realize you're exhausted for no clear reason, that's when God begins to move. In the coming days, He will rearrange the entire energetic space around you. He's performing a kind of spiritual surgery, removing everything that no longer aligns with your soul, even if it leaves you confused or momentarily empty. Some people will drift away quietly. They'll stop responding like before. Conversations will feel shorter, more forced. You'll sense the connection between you fading, not because anyone is at fault, but because the frequency between your souls has changed. Some opportunities you once believed were destined will suddenly vanish. A dream job gets postponed. A plan falls through. A trusted person changes direction. But if you look deeper, you'll see that every delay is protection. God never lets anything slip from your hands unless it no longer serves your journey ahead. There will also be conversations that once inspired you, but now feel heavy. You listen, but inside, there's only silence. You can feel the mismatch of energy, as if you're vibrating on a higher, brighter frequency, while they remain in the dimness of the old. That's when God is separating you. Don't resist it. Don't cling to what's fading, because if you keep holding on, He will have to separate you more forcefully. Sometimes, separation doesn't come with tears. It comes through invisible distance. You and they still exist in the same space, but your souls are already walking different paths. And Gemini, you need to understand one thing. You're not being left behind. You're being taken ahead. God knows your light needs a new environment to grow. You're ascending to a higher level, a space of purer energy, where kindred souls will recognize you and love you the right way. But to bring you there, He must first clear your surroundings. In the coming days, you might feel like talking less. You'll crave solitude, quiet, silence, not to escape, but to restore yourself. Don't force yourself to socialize, to maintain appearances. to be cheerful like before. Allow yourself to pull your energy inward, not as a retreat, but as renewal. This separation is like a great surgery of the soul, painful, but necessary. God is removing unhealthy attachments, negative thoughts, emotions that have kept you from moving forward. And you know what? When He's done, you'll feel lighter, brighter, and freer than ever before. Don't be surprised if one morning you wake up and simply stop caring about what once broke you. That's not indifference. That's healing. Those who no longer share your frequency will fade away like mist under sunlight. They're not bad people, they've simply completed their role in your story. God will not leave you alone. He will bring new souls into your life. People who bring peace instead of struggle. So, if your life feels quieter lately, don't worry. It's not emptiness. It's the calm before the blessing. He's pulling you away from the noise so He can speak to you directly. And only in that sacred silence will you hear His whisper. You are not who you used to be. You are being elevated. Gemini, you are in a season of energetic rebirth. Trust this divine rearrangement. Every disappearance today is clearing the path for something greater tomorrow. Have you ever felt God pulling you away from draining relationships? Share your thoughts below. And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the next part where we'll talk about the inner calling and the awakening, the stage where God not only takes away but begins to place the light back into its rightful place within your soul. Part 3. The inner call and the awakening. There comes a moment in life when the soul begins to speak, not in whispers, but in a soft yet unmistakable voice saying, "Enough, my child. Don't repeat this anymore." Gemini, this is that moment. You've been silent long enough. You've tried to convince yourself that everything will be okay. That if I just understand a little more, love a little more, things will change. But deep down, you know, something isn't real. There's someone who keeps making you doubt your own worth. There are conversations after which your energy feels completely drained. You listen to them speak, yet every word seems to pull the life out of you. They may say they care, they may say they love you, but every time they leave, you feel empty, tired, as if you've had to fight just to prove you deserve to be heard. You feel torn, your heart wants to stay, but your soul wants to go. You love them, but that love makes you smaller. You care, but the more you care, the more you lose yourself. That is not your fault, Gemini. You've lived too long as the peacemaker, the healer, the connector. You've believed that with enough love, you could help someone change. But God is saying to you now, you cannot save someone by losing yourself. And so, in the coming days, God will act on your behalf. He knows you're tired, that you've prayed, even if only in silence. Please, show me what is true. And that prayer has been heard. A moment of revelation will arrive, perhaps through a conversation, an action, or a flash of insight, when the veil of illusion is lifted and you finally see the truth. Someone might accidentally reveal a lie. You might witness something that you can no longer explain away. Or you'll hear a piece of information that suddenly makes all the puzzle pieces in your mind fall into place. And you'll realize, I've always known this. I just wasn't ready to face it. That moment, that instant of clarity will hurt. But it's the pain of awakening. Don't fear the truth, because it will set you free. God never allows the light of truth to reach you later than the moment you're strong enough to handle it. If the truth comes now, it's because you're ready. And when it's revealed, you'll feel as if a heavy curtain has been lifted from your mind. No more guessing whether someone's intentions are real. No more trying to fix what's already broken. You'll feel a strange peace, because finally, you don't have to pretend anymore. Every word, every silence, Every moment will suddenly make sense, and you'll understand why things had to unfold this way. Gemini, you'll look back at all the times you cried for them, blamed yourself, or held your tongue to avoid conflict, and you'll see every moment was a lesson to awaken you. God is not punishing you, He's showing you the limits of love without respect, sacrifice without reciprocity, and trust without protection. When your soul awakens, you'll begin to hear God more clearly than ever before. He'll speak through small signs, a song you randomly hear, a vivid dream, a sentence someone casually says, all of it guiding you to one truth. You deserve a love that never makes you doubt yourself. And from this point forward, your true healing begins not by trying to change others, but by transforming how you treat your own soul. You'll stop chasing those who make you feel small. You'll stop explaining your worth to those who refuse to see it. Because once you've seen the truth, you can never go back to being blind. Gemini, the truth won't break you. It will free you. Let God do His work. Even if He does it through tears, through separation, or through sudden clarity, His purpose remains the same, to return you to the path of light that was always meant for you. If you've ever prayed and asked God to show you what's real, comment below. I am ready to see the truth. And don't forget to subscribe so we can continue exploring this journey, because in the next part, we'll talk about liberation and rebirth, the stage where God not only takes away the old, but gives you back the strength to rise and shine brighter than ever before. Part 4. Liberation and the process of rebirth. After every breakdown, there is a very special kind of silence. No more tears, no more anger, just a strange mix of emptiness and relief. Gemini, that's the first sign of liberation. You'll feel as if someone has lifted a heavy stone off your chest, one you've been carrying for years. Take a deep breath, and suddenly you realize, I can finally breathe again. In these days, you'll notice your energy shifting little by little. At first, it's tiredness, not wanting to talk, not wanting to explain yourself anymore. Then slowly, you begin to hear an inner voice, a familiar one you had forgotten, whispering, I'm still here, still strong, still whole. That is your true soul, the part of you that got lost when you kept trying to please everyone else. Rebirth never comes with noise. It arrives quietly, like dawn after a long night of storms. You begin to reclaim the pieces of yourself, your faith, your voice, your dreams, your creativity. Your faith because you now see that God never abandoned you. He was only waiting for you to be brave enough to let go. Your voice because you start speaking what you once silenced, expressing your truth without fear of judgment. Your dreams because you finally believe you deserve something better. Your creativity because once your mind is purified, new light, new ideas, and new inspiration flow in again. All of this is the miracle of rebirth. God doesn't just remove what's not aligned. He opens the door for new souls who match your frequency. You'll begin to notice gentle, kind, and genuine people entering your life. They don't make you shrink to fit into their space. They don't make you earn love. They come to walk beside you, not to drain you. And you'll start to understand every loss carries the shape of a blessing. If that person hadn't left, you wouldn't have discovered your inner strength. If that door hadn't closed, you wouldn't have found the courage to open another, the one where true light has been waiting for you all along. Gemini, this is the stage where you'll learn to love yourself, not through someone else's reflection, but through your own divine truth. You'll stop asking, do they need me? And start asking, does this nourish my soul? You'll stop seeking love to fill a void, and instead, you'll become love itself, radiant, whole, independent of anyone. Rebirth isn't just an emotion, it's an energy of renewal. When you release the old, a new light begins to flow into every cell, every breath. Your body feels lighter, your mind clearer, and your soul begins to smile again. You'll realize that what you thought you lost was only a sacred exchange, God giving you back a better version of yourself. Allow yourself to savor this peace. Don't rush to fill it. In that stillness, a new version of you is being born, wiser, stronger, more aware of who you are and what truly deserves your energy. You'll start meeting new people as if they were always meant to be there, just waiting for you to be ready. A new friend, a mentor, an opportunity, each one a reward for the courage you've shown. And one day, you'll look back and smile, no more pain, only gratitude. Thank you, God, for taking away what I didn't have the courage to leave. Thank you for helping me see my own worth. That is true freedom. Not freedom because no one is holding you back, but because you're no longer holding yourself back. You are allowed to be happy, to be at peace, to live in harmony with your own energy, and that is the greatest gift of this transformation. If you can feel this energy right now, comment below. I am being reborn by God. And don't forget to subscribe, so we can walk together through this season of rebirth, where every wound becomes light, and every loss is simply a divine promise of a blessed new beginning that's already on its way. Part 5. The rebirth of the soul. And the final lesson. There comes a stage that every soul must walk through before true freedom, the moment we learn to forgive without returning, to love without hurting ourselves. And Gemini, that moment is now as you stand on the threshold between the old and the new, between pain and awakening, between who you once were and who you are becoming. God wants you to understand something profoundly. Forgiveness doesn't mean going back. Compassion doesn't mean accepting more pain. Because He knows your heart is vast, you forgive easily, love deeply, and always believe you can save others from their own darkness. But no, Gemini. You were not born to be the light for those who choose to keep their eyes closed. What you've just been through wasn't meant to make you bitter. It was meant to teach you the meaning of sacred boundaries. God is teaching you the most important lesson of your soul's journey. You can love without losing yourself, give without being drained, connect without becoming dependent. When you understand this, your love becomes pure, no longer controlled by fear of loss or the need for validation. True spiritual maturity isn't about how many people you keep. It's about knowing when to let go with gratitude. And now you see. You no longer fear losing anyone, because you know that everything that leaves is part of God's divine plan. He never removes anything unless it's blocking your light. And if He lets someone walk away, it's only because their frequency no longer matches the path you're about to walk. From this moment on, your soul begins to feel lighter. No more meaningless conversations to prove your worth. No more sleepless nights asking, "Am I not good enough?" You finally understand. You don't have to be perfect to be loved. You only have to be real. Gemini, you are the sign of air-free, intelligent, ever curious. But this journey has taught you a new kind of freedom. The freedom of the soul. Unbound by old emotions, you'll see the world open wider, calmer, clearer. Everyone you meet from now on will reflect the light you've begun to carry within. You'll meet people who listen, who value you, who never try to change you, people who love you, with respect, without demands or conditions. That is the sweet fruit of purification. You have walked through darkness only to realize the light was never gone. You have lost, only to understand the value of what remains. You have let go, only to see that you are no longer afraid. And now, your soul has truly been reborn. Rebirth doesn't mean becoming someone new. It means returning to who you've always been before the world made you forget your worth. Now, You no longer need anyone to heal you because you have become your own healer. You don't need to chase the light because it's already shining from your heart. And when you learn to love without fear, to give without losing yourself, to live without pretending, that is when you are truly awakened. Your soul becomes as light as the wind, your mind as clear as dawn, and your heart strong enough to hold only the relationships that are healthy, worthy, and allow you to be fully yourself. Remember, every journey begins with God's invitation, and this one is no different. He called you to walk through the darkness, not to break you, but to teach you how to fly. Be grateful even to those who hurt you. They showed you what you will never again accept. And be grateful to yourself, because no matter how many times you fell, you kept choosing to rise, to believe in the light again. If you feel that this is the season where God is healing you, comment below. I choose to trust His plan. And don't forget to subscribe, so we can continue walking together on this journey of light, freedom, and truth. Because Gemini, this story isn't ending, it's just beginning. A new you is emerging, a soul purified, and a heart that has finally learned how to love fully without ever losing itself again. Dear Gemini, the journey you've just listened to is not only a message from the universe, it's a mirror reflecting your own life. Every time you are pushed out of a relationship, a job, or a situation that once felt stable, don't rush to see it as a loss, because that is God's way of redirecting your path. From today's story, the most precious lesson you can carry with you is the art of conscious letting go. Let things leave when their time has come. Don't cling to what has expired, because the truth is, when you keep holding on to what no longer fits, you're blocking yourself from receiving something greater. Life is a series of purifications, and after each one, your soul becomes stronger, clearer, and closer to its true purpose. The message God wants you to receive is simple yet powerful. Forgive, but don't return. Love, but don't lose yourself. Be compassionate, but know your boundaries. If you can live by these 3 truths, you won't just survive the storm, you'll learn how to fly through it. And when you look back, you'll realize everything God took away was only to give you a better version of yourself. Don't fear solitude, because being alone isn't emptiness. It's the sacred space where new light begins to enter. Don't mourn those who left, because the space they left behind is where blessings are about to grow. If these words touch your heart, comment below. I trust that God is leading my way. Hit like if you feel this awakening energy, and subscribe so you won't miss the upcoming messages. Each video on this channel is created to help you rediscover your light, your peace, and the strength within your soul. Gemini, you've walked a long journey now. It's time to be proud of your healed wounds, of the moments you chose to rise instead of giving up. Believe this: nothing happens outside of God's plan. Every time you lose something, He's giving you back yourself, more complete, more radiant, and more worthy than ever before. I am your companion on this path of awakening. See you in the next video, where light, truth, and love will continue to guide the soul of Gemini. Keep your heart warm. Keep your faith steady, because the best is still on its way to you. See you soon, Gemini.